It's a sad reality that the president who was elected on a platform of hope and change turned out to be one of our biggest disappointments. After the frustration Bush era, millions of Americans flocked under the banner of one Barack Obama. He promised a new era of freedom and opportunity for all Americans. His image and platform was inspiring. It helped people believe that a new day for the United States was dawning, a day of prosperity and liberation of the chains of the past. Instead, what did we get? A president who prioritized social justice causes, allowed for the rise of great racial divides, and plundered our military. He abused his executive authority to circumvent Congress, pushing for policies that weaken our borders, allowed a flood of criminal aliens enter, and see a spike in radical Islamic terrorism. Not to mention his allowing the NSA to spy on every American, a violation of our Fourth Amendment rights. Plus the disaster of Obamacare, more Americans on welfare and food stamps, and drastic debt. But his betrayal of America's trust goes deeper than that. Throughout his administration, Obama worked to interfere with the affairs of foreign nations, many of whom were allies. We learned he was spying on German Chancellor Merkel. Recently we even discovered he had the CIA try to interfere with French elections. Now the U.S. Senate is finally taking action. From right-wing news. Senators are calling on Secretary of State Rex Tillerson to investigate the Obama administration's efforts to influence foreign elections by sending taxpayer dollars to extreme and sometimes violent political activists that would promote liberal causes. Multiple foreign diplomats had conversations with lawmakers, who outlined the State Department's meddling, including liberal causes in countries like Macedonia, Albania, Latin America, and Africa. And to make it even more suspicious, George Soros is allegedly involved, too. Some of the funding for these causes also appears to come from the liberal billionaire, and specifically his Open Society Foundation, according to the letter written by Republican Senators Mike Lee, Utah, Jim Inhofe, Oklahoma, Tom Tillis, SC, Ted Cruz, Texas, David Perdue, Georgia, and Bill Cassidy, Law. It is also believed that the Obama administration funded organizations that sought to kick Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu out of office. Over the past few months, elected officials and political leaders of foreign nations have been coming to me with disappointing news and reports of U.S. activity in their respective countries, Senator Lee said in a statement. We had seen this going on under our noses, but now that Republicans in Congress are empowered by Trump, they're in deep trouble. President Obama operated with virtually no accountability, as the liberal media praised everything he did and ignored his many mistakes. Democrats and Obama supporters seemed to look the other way or were kept in the dark about his unconstitutional administration. It seems that for liberals, it's okay to do whatever you want, so long as you're likable. Damn the law, right? But now that the political tide has turned in Washington, perhaps Obama will be held accountable for the many misdeeds of his administration. Will it result in criminal prosecutions? Probably not. But at the very least, the American people will learn the full extent of his wayward behavior.